Nintendo 64 is a system that I absolutely love. And I love collecting all of these games, these kiosks, these store displays, these standees, and just so many crazy promotional items for the system. And boy, have I collected tons that are worth so much money today. So we're going to go ahead and talk about my top 10 expensive Nintendo 64 video games. Now, a couple of these are a little bit more than just games themselves, so you'll see. But we'll just start it off with this one right here. So I cannot believe that this video game goes for like so much. This is the Conker's Bad Fur Day press kit. Now, this was actually a kit that was given out to store leaders, and they were told to pre-sale the most copies of Conker's Bad Fur Day. So there are not many of these that exist out there anymore, and it is just so insane that I've seen these, go for thousands of dollars. When you open it up, I have seen some missing these items. You're supposed to have a letter, supposed to have a t-shirt that's like a promotional for the game. You have a VHS tape with the sleeve that goes over it. You have a copy of Conker's Bad Fur Day for the Nintendo 64, and even these jelly beans in this little like pill bottle. And these are the original jelly beans from when this game came out. Sure that they taste terrible, but this is so insane. Just because a regular copy of Conker's Bad Fur Day goes for $128, sometimes even a little bit more. And then it's just so crazy to see that the press kit, without this like little topper, missing pieces, can go for over $3,000. And I've seen these for sale. These like amazing boxes, just like promo items, but really nothing too crazy or special about it. When you like look at just the items that are included, I guess because it is so rare to find it complete, these go between $5,000 and $8,000, at least at one of the high points I have seen these like listed and sold for. It is just so wild to me that something like that can really like determine the value. Now, Conker's Bad Fur Day was a fantastic game. It really is top notch. So, I mean, I can see why this game still holds its value, just a loose cartridge. But, Conker is lost, trying to find his way home. You have this 3D platformer. It's very responsive. But the part that makes it so out there is this foul-mouthed rodent. It's so humorous. And, the humor is top-notch in this game. It's very distinctive with the worlds. Just fun tasks, very unique. And it's just odd for a Nintendo product to be something like so outlandish. It's just really crazy. It's such a good franchise. Now this game right here, next up would have to be on the list. And this right here is Rocket Robot on Wheels. So this is a fantastic platformer, and I know what you're thinking. This game's only like $71, but I actually have the prototype, which was used to create this game. And there's only a couple of these that exist, and this one has the original artwork of the prototype game. So instead of it being Rocket Robot on Wheels, they were going to name it Sprocket. So this was actually, changed up because they couldn't get the licensing with it, but I love this original image that's on this game here. And then it even has all this information for Sucker Punch, when they actually created this. So this is definitely an amazing piece of history for a fantastic game. This is set in like a future theme park. It's very bizarre, very unique. Tons to do, tons to collect in this. A 3D platformer that's definitely overlooked today. Just really crazy because this is a really great game and one that a lot of people should have played back in the day. And it's just so shocking that something like this, could really go from just a few dollars to, upwards of 70-some dollars, especially when people started discovering it over the years. Or you could have a prototype that's worth over $3,000. Of course, everyone who knows anything about the Nintendo 64 will know about this blockbuster exclusive. We have ClayFighter Sculptor's Cut. This game brings a lot of money, and it's really not even the best. So this is a fighting game that goes for about $857, which is just so wild. And I've seen them like go upwards of $1,000 at one point. I've seen the condition definitely change on these depending if the label is ripped off. And the back sticker on here is actually one of my childhood blockbusters. So that is just so amazing, having this really cool phone number on here that just brings so much joy, brings so much to me. But this is a game that if you had it in the original box, if you had it with the manual, you would be talking like thousands of dollars. But just to have a standalone cart is like really crazy. So I actually did get a box for it, but it's not the original authentic. It's just big enough to go ahead and fit the cart. So these are just really cool. And, you know, you can actually order these. They're just really neat, and I love it because it even says on the back here, this Blockbuster exclusive, make it a Blockbuster fight. This is from MiniBoxGaming.com. So I just absolutely love this. It's a cheaper alternative to get this complete in the box here. And, you know, just have it on display with this amazing game here that wasn't really the best, but you know, it looked incredible on the Super Nintendo. You have these fighting games that were all the rage. You have these like 2D fighting games, this clay animation, and just because it's more of like an update of 63 1/3, just because it is a Blockbuster exclusive, that's probably where the value is, because they are so hard to find with the original box, with the manual, and those things often got trashed. So it's just really cool to see this. Now this game is a bowling game. It's a lot of fun, but I just don't know if it fits the $470 price tag. So this is definitely insane, but it is a really fun game. But I'm assuming because it did have a low production, there just weren't as many out there. It's like this arcade-like style bowling with unique characters. It's fun, but still, I just don't know if I'd pay that price. And once again, I have this cool little mini box, just because if you get some of these games with the original boxes, they're just so hard to find. They cost so much money, and when the cartridge is already that much, it just makes it even more difficult and just like crazy to find complete. Now, Stunt Racer is actually a really fun game. This is a fantastic racer. It plays like a high-speed racer. Very, very fun. It just has like different mix to it compared to some of the other racers. It kind of feels like they're doing a lot with, you know, so many different games kind of like honed into this one. But this cartridge can go for like $360. So I absolutely love these little boxes here. But this is another one that was a Blockbuster exclusive, and that's just why these games are like super desirable. You just don't see as many complete out there with the manual, with the boxes. And because people had a difficult time, you know, getting their hands on them, of course, that'll drive up the price. Now, this one is one that I'm super proud of. This I also got from a buddy of mine. This is Perfect Dark. And there's something a little bit more special about this game here. So I absolutely love this franchise back in the day. A lot of people love GoldenEye, but Perfect Dark was the better game. You know, I'm always going to be nostalgic for GoldenEye. But here, this sealed copy of this game, this Perfect Dark, could go for like $15 loose. It could go for $54 complete. It could even go for over $100 sealed. But when you have this employee purchase sticker, Nintendo of America strictly prohibits resale of any product for profit. You could only get this from Nintendo, and it's crazy that they kept it sealed. They kept this sticker on it, and I'm sure that they sold it or gave it to someone who ended up selling it. But this is fantastic, and I could see these going for hundreds of dollars just because of this variant with this sticker. It's just something super uncommon, super crazy, and definitely a part of Nintendo history. So I absolutely love that. Now, this game right here is one of my all-time favorites. I played this growing up. I had so much fun with this fighting game. It started out as Streets of Rage 4, and I absolutely love it. So a loose cartridge can go for like $36. A complete in box could go for $123. But when you have this amazing game here, this like super cool box variant that not only has the manual, but this right here, these tattoos for Fighting Force 64. This really makes it super cool because this one could go for over $270 for this like tattoo set. So that is where the money's at, are the tattoos. It's just so cool. And then because it is one of my childhood favorites, I also got this like mini little box just to add to this cool Fighting Force shrine. But this was fantastic. Something nostalgic about this beat 'em up. Felt like it was endless with these enemies. You know, you have that classic elevator level where all these enemies just keep coming in through the doors as you go through the different levels. It's just so much fun, and I absolutely love it. So this one means so much to me. So I could definitely see how it has a higher price tag when you find these like weird and rare variants of these particular games. Now, Bomberman 64, The Second Attack, is fantastic. This one is definitely a fun game. It's the sequel to Bomberman 64. It expands on the story, the graphics, the bosses, and the levels. It really does a great job navigating through these like 3D levels. And the 4-player battle mode has to be the best. You have these different like battle maps. This game can go for upwards of $230, which is just so insane, you know, for this loose cartridge. But this is really a fantastic game. The Nintendo 64 did it right with the multiplayer and just made it super fun for everyone to play. Worms Armageddon was one that was a little bit difficult for me to find when I was completing the North American set. This game goes for $214+. So this is a really fun turn-based strategy game in this like 2D world, but it's so fantastic looking, and I love how engaging it is when you're playing solo, but of course the multiplayer is where it's at. Definitely plays well, it's a fun time, and this one has seemed to hold its value for many, many years. Now, these two games right here, you might be thinking, what's so special about Wave Race 64, Super Mario 64? These two are complete copies, these box copies, of these special for Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia only. So of course, you know, Super Mario 64 is one of the best, the greatest games out there, especially on the Nintendo 64. And the loose cart could go for $35 to $130+ complete in box. But when you have this special rare variant, this could go for over $150, and same with Wave Race 64. You know, it turns a $13 game, $40 complete in box, to something worth over $150. So this is just so insane to have these crazy rare items in the collection. And, you know, just having this stuff worth an incredible amount of money. You know, thousands of dollars, and all of this here could easily be worth over $15,000, you know, to like the right person. But it's always going to be worth so much more to me for the nostalgia, for this console that really got me into gaming, into collecting, and just something that I absolutely love. And I will continue growing the collection with the cool promo items, kiosks, store displays, standees, and of course the list goes on. So which game is your favorite in this list here, and what rare items do you have for the Nintendo 64? Let me know in the comments down below, and of course, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go ahead and check out all of my other videos, and stay tuned for more.